Hi, I'm Sam, and this is Sam Says. Today I'm going to be showing you the Meeple Realty Gloomhaven insert. So to start us off, why don't I show you how it all fits in the box. Welcome back. All right, so now that you've seen how it all fits in the box, let's talk about it a little bit. Now, the insert that I have in front of me today, I have taken Gloomhaven out of. I actually went through a move, and so certain things got jumbled around. But let's talk about just the insert in general. Meeple Realty has done a really great job in labeling just about everything that needs to be labeled. And I say what needs to be labeled is like they haven't gone through and labeled like these dividers, which you could actually go through and do yourself if you wanted to go through in cards. They've got the tabs up here, so you could go in and write that in for yourself, which is really nice. I like that. You could come in here and say, hey, city. City events, road events. You could actually go through and do that. They've given you that tab up at the top to be able to do that. So it gives you some options for how you want to organize your game. But as like on here, so this stores various types of terrain. So it's got in here the table, the bookcase, sarcophagus. But it's got all of that stuff labeled, and this does come off really easy to be able to have those in there. So I really like that. If you watch my other reviews, for instance, you know that I love it when things are labeled. I like having knowing when I put things away exactly where they're going to be, as well as being able to look at a quick glance and see where are the things that I need. Another nice thing about the Meeple Realty insert is this is the monster tray. So this has every single monster in the game in this tray, which is really pretty cool. And everything is labeled on the outside. I will say the one thing that I don't love about this tray specifically is that how you get the monsters out is you have these holes in the bottom, and the holes are pretty small. So you should be able to like put in really your pinky. But for me, my pinky, I mean, it's probably hard to see on camera, just barely goes in through there. And what I found is that it's hard to like hold this because all of the monster cardboard standees are in here. So shove it up, and then also like they're a pretty tight fit. So trying to jam another finger in there to pull them out while I'm putting my pinky in through the bottom, and it gets a little irritating on my pinky as I'm going through and setting up a scenario and pulling out 3, 4, 5 different types of monsters. So for that, I don't love it. I'm sure you could get a device that, I mean, a pen or, with an eraser on the bottom, you just push it up and that could solve the problem. I never think about that beforehand. So that was one thing that I didn't love, but it stores them very well. And it makes really good use of the space. And everything is labeled, which is great. Love labeling. This is kind of a cool thing. So this has got all of the a bunch of the other terrain add-on pieces. You can see in the video, it's got these cool built trays. That's one thing that Meeple Realty does really well. Is their designs are smart and interesting. I'm always interested when I look at a Meeple Realty insert because they do things that I would say are unexpected. where other insert companies, they follow not necessarily like a protocol or whatever, but it's like, here's a box, and we just designed this box to be able to store this, which works fantastic. Meeple Realty, I feel like, goes out of their way and is like, well, what if, these tiles are diagonally shaped or hexagonally shaped? And so what if we made a thing that let them sit down in their hexagonally shaped stuff? I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. I like what they did with it. So, excuse me. So that looks really cool. I do like that a lot, and labeling. It's easy to find the things that you need, easy to set up. So I would say the Meeple Realty, as far as setup goes, does a really great job being able to set it up. This, the Gloomhaven town, this just stores all of the mini boxes. Works just fine. I mean, everything just fits right in there. So that's nothing crazy special about it. It works. This big box, this stores all of your character boxes in their original cardboard packaging. So that's just fine. If you're like me and you sleeve your cards, you're going to run into a little bit of an issue trying to store your characters, which is really a big thing with most of the Gloomhaven inserts, is that as you try to put things back in those cardboard boxes, they just get stuffed and full, and you want to keep all your character stuff together. Doesn't work as well. Now, what you can do is, with this card tray and all of these dividers, you could actually store your character like cards and things in here, and that could work really well for you. And then you just keep, your character card, I guess, the cardboard in there with maybe some of your tokens, and that could be a really good answer to your storage solution. But this card tray works really well. I will say, with sleeve cards, it is a tight fit. It fits. It is a tight fit. It can be, if you have them completely full, a little bit hard to move around, but it fits everything, and it fits it sleeved. If you have unsleeved cards, you're going to be totally fine. No worries whatsoever. I will say, one thing that I wasn't a huge fan of with this was this, because this is where you're storing like the bases for the standees, you're storing a bunch of different paper items, and this just gets set right up on top there. It's probably just my copy, but this sits really tight, makes it hard to pull up. I actually broke off some of the pieces a couple of times and had to re-glue them. It was so tight. That's probably just my copy, because wood, every single one of these has the potential to be off by just a variant of a degree. So it could just be my copy, but I found that I don't love that all this is just loose and hanging out. I don't know. Inserts are all about organization, right? And so I just have this whole big tray of a bunch of stuff jumbled in. So I didn't love that, but it works. Probably one of my favorite things that I think is really cool about what they did with this insert is this. So I didn't slide it in, but it sits there. So you get all the conditions and everything on this tray. So this is really nice to pull this tray out and have that in between players. To have all of the conditions, just easy to pull out. Love it. Fantastic. Great. Because conditions, when they're in mixed together, are a pain in the butt to be able to pull out. And a lot of times they last for like a turn or two. So then you put them back in, and then the next turn you're getting in a different condition. So, but this thing is so cool. So you've got you put coins and some other tokens and things in here, and when you need them, you just slide them out. And so this is actually wood. So it's wood that, I don't know how that, I mean, obviously it's laser cut, but I don't know exactly how they came up with the design for it, but it's really cool. It bends. So when I was building this, you in order to fit these slots in, you actually bend the wood, and I thought I was going to break it. I was terrified. But it works. It works really well, and it's cool. And it makes it so that if you're sitting here, I need to grab some coins, I can just pull them out. Sometimes they can get stuck on an opening if there happens to be a large gap, or if I pull it in a certain way that it catches. So they can catch. I've had a couple of cardboard pieces catch on there and rip a little bit, but I also had some of the cardboard pieces and cardboard chits in Gloomhaven rip anyway. So that's probably more of a production quality than the insert. But it did find itself to be slightly more prone to that. But other than that, it's really cool and nice. It has a good presentation while it's on the table. And that's I've gone through every piece in it. It's quite simple as far as the Meeple Realty. A lot of the other inserts are very complex, have tons and tons of different bins. If you want to see how the Meeple Realty stacks up against its competition for the Gloomhaven inserts, check out my other video, which will be coming very soon. Hopefully by the time you watch this, I'll already have it out. But overall, I would say for this insert specifically, it's great. I mean, you can go to meeplerealty.com. You can pick it up. I think I forgot to check right before I made the video. I believe it's like $85, which is not bad. It might be cheaper than that, but I have to double check. I'll try and edit the video to show that. But it works really well. I will say the biggest help is setup. Setup in Gloomhaven, if you've played it, you know it can be a nightmare. It can take a long time. This cuts off a ton of time on setup, which is great. Keeps things organized for you. I love the in-game use of the insert as well, with having these token trays that are out playing with you while you play the game. They actually do make playing the game easier and more fun, which I love when an insert can not only organize my game, but can also facilitate in-game play. That's a huge plus for me. So overall, I would say for Meeple Realty, well done. Great labeling, great help with setup. I love the fact that I have in-game capabilities with the insert as well. So if you are looking for a Gloomhaven insert and you like Meeple Realty, they've done a really good job with this one. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Sam. This is Sam Says. Like I said, check out the video that's going to be upcoming very soon. That is a total of all of the Gloomhaven inserts that I've looked at so far and a comparison between them all. If you like this, please hit the thumbs up on the video, subscribe, and I will see you next time. I'm Sam. This was Sam Says. Have a great day, and game on.